A home is more than walls, furniture, and decoration. It is a place where hearts rest, souls recover, and families build their lives together. In Islam, the atmosphere of a house is deeply connected to the actions, habits, and items kept inside it. Many people focus only on physical beauty, but spiritual beauty is far more important. There are homes that appear luxurious from the outside, yet feel heavy, stressful, and uncomfortable inside. At the same time, there are simple homes filled with peace, mercy, and calmness because they are protected through faith, purity, and remembrance of Allah. The hidden objects and habits within a house can quietly influence the emotional and spiritual condition of everyone living there. Some items may seem harmless, fashionable, or entertaining, but over time they can affect the environment of the home in dangerous ways. Islam teaches believers to be careful about what they allow into their private spaces because the home should be a place where angels enter freely and blessings increase. When people bring things that promote immorality, arrogance, neglect of worship, or disobedience to Allah, the atmosphere slowly changes. Peace decreases, tempers rise, and hearts become restless. This does not always happen suddenly. Often it begins quietly. Family members become irritated more easily. Communication weakens. The desire to pray decreases. Small arguments turn into major conflicts. Anxiety grows without any clear reason. Many people search everywhere for answers while ignoring the spiritual condition of their homes. One of the biggest dangers today is the normalization of harmful entertainment and sinful influences inside the house. Screens, devices, decorations, and objects that constantly expose people to indecency can darken the spiritual atmosphere. A person may not realize how much the eyes and ears affect the soul. What repeatedly enters the heart eventually changes behavior, thoughts, and emotions. When a home becomes filled with distractions that pull people away from Allah, tranquility slowly disappears. Instead of conversations filled with kindness and remembrance, silence and emotional distance begin to grow. The house may remain physically beautiful, but spiritually it feels empty. Another hidden issue is keeping objects that represent pride, superstition, or imitation of practices against Islamic teachings. Sometimes people decorate their homes with symbols or statues without understanding their spiritual effects. Islam places great importance on protecting the purity of belief and ensuring that homes remain places of sincerity and humility before Allah. Even carelessness in cleanliness and organization can affect the emotional environment. A neglected space often reflects a neglected spiritual state. When people stop caring for their surroundings, laziness and heaviness can enter their hearts as well. The remembrance of Allah is one of the greatest protectors of a home. A house where Quran is recited regularly feels different from one filled only with noise and distraction. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, taught that homes should not become like graveyards without prayer and remembrance. This shows how spiritual acts bring life into the environment. Salah performed inside the house increases peace. Recitation of Surah Al-Baqarah is known to drive away evil influences. Dhikr softens hearts and removes tension. Even simple acts like saying Bismillah when entering the home or eating together with gratitude create blessings that protect the household from harm. Sometimes people ignore how much arguments and negativity can shape the atmosphere of a home. Words spoken in anger leave traces in the hearts of family members. Constant shouting, insults, or cold behavior slowly destroys emotional safety. Children raised in such environments may feel fear even when nothing dangerous is happening. Spouses begin to feel emotionally distant. A grateful household feels lighter because people recognize Allah's blessings instead of constantly focusing on what they lack. Uncontrolled entertainment and distractions also contribute to spiritual heaviness. Many homes today are filled with noise from morning until night. Television, phones, music, and endless scrolling leave little room for reflection or meaningful conversation. Family members may physically sit together while emotionally remaining disconnected. Their heart becomes overstimulated yet spiritually empty. Silence itself starts feeling uncomfortable because people lose connection with inner peace. Islam encourages balance and mindful living because endless distraction weakens emotional and spiritual stability. Negative energy can also enter through unresolved resentment. Some people hold on to anger for years while pretending everything is fine outwardly. Hidden bitterness slowly poisons relationship. Every conversation becomes influenced by past pain. Trust weakens and emotional distance grows. Islam teaches forgiveness not only to heal relationships, but also to protect the heart from carrying emotional darkness. Forgiveness does not mean ignoring wrongdoing, but it prevents hatred from controlling the soul and damaging the home environment. Another overlooked factor is neglecting spiritual routines inside the home. Homes need spiritual nourishment just as bodies need food. Prayer brings discipline and peace. Quran recitation softens hearts. Dhikr fills the atmosphere with remembrance of Allah. Without these acts, the spiritual emptiness becomes noticeable over time. Many people search for peace through material comfort alone while ignoring the soul's deeper needs. A house may contain luxury, technology, and expensive decoration, yet still feel emotionally exhausting because spiritual life is absent. The company allowed into the home also affects its atmosphere. Friends, guests, and influences shape behavior and conversation. If people regularly bring gossip, negativity, vulgarity, or sinful habits into the home, these influences slowly become normalized. Islam teaches believers to protect their environments carefully because human beings naturally absorb the behavior and attitudes around them. Good company encourages faith, patience, and positivity, while harmful company spreads emotional and spiritual darkness. Another reason peaceful homes lose their calmness is excessive attachment to worldly matters. Some families become so focused on money, status, and achievement that emotional connection disappears. Every conversation revolves around pressure, competition, or material success. People stop appreciating simple moments together. Emotional warmth fades because the household becomes driven only by worldly goals. Islam teaches balance between dunya and akhirah because true peace comes when worldly responsibilities remain connected to spiritual purpose. Cleanliness and order also influence emotional energy inside a house. A neglected and chaotic environment often increases stress, laziness, and sadness. Islam emphasizes cleanliness because it affects both the body and the soul. A clean environment creates mental clarity and emotional calmness. Even simple habits like organizing spaces, allowing natural light, and maintaining hygiene can improve the emotional atmosphere of a home. Negative energy sometimes enters through fear and constant pessimism. When family members speak only about problems, disasters, failures, and worries, hope slowly disappears. Children especially absorb this emotional atmosphere deeply. Islam encourages hope and trust in Allah even during hardship. A home where people remember Allah's mercy and remain patient during trials feels emotionally stronger than a home controlled by fear and negativity. Signs your home has lost its calm and mercy often appear gradually. Many people ignore these signs until emotional exhaustion becomes overwhelming. One of the clearest signs is the increase of constant arguments over small matters. Minor misunderstandings suddenly turn into major conflicts. Family members become impatient with each other easily. Instead of feeling comfort at home, people begin seeking escape outside it. The atmosphere no longer feels emotionally safe or welcoming. Another sign is the absence of emotional warmth between family members. People may still live together, eat together, and follow routines together, yet their hearts feel disconnected. Conversations become short and cold. Genuine smiles become rare. Everyone remains busy with personal distractions while emotional loneliness grows inside the house. Islam encourages strong family ties because emotional connection is one of the greatest sources of peace within a home. A home that has lost its calm often feels spiritually empty as well. Prayer becomes inconsistent. Quran recitation disappears. Worship feels heavy rather than comforting. Family members rarely remind one another about Allah. Instead, worldly concerns dominate every discussion. Without spiritual nourishment, the emotional atmosphere weakens. The home begins feeling like only a physical structure rather than a place of mercy and tranquility. Restlessness is another important sign. People struggle to relax even inside their own homes. Sleep becomes disturbed. Anxiety increases. Hearts feel unsettled for no clear reason. Some individuals constantly feel the need to leave the house because staying inside feels emotionally draining. While emotional struggles can have many causes, spiritual neglect often intensifies feelings of heaviness and discomfort within the environment. Constant negativity in conversations is also a warning sign. Family members complain excessively, criticize one another, or speak harshly regularly. Positive and uplifting discussions become rare. Instead of encouraging each other, people spread discouragement and frustration. Words shape the emotional climate of a household. Homes filled with negativity slowly lose their sense of mercy and emotional peace. Another sign is the disappearance of gratitude. People begin focusing only on problems while ignoring blessings. Even during moments of comfort, dissatisfaction remains dominant. This mindset removes barakah because gratitude attracts blessings while constant complaining darkens the heart. Islam teaches believers to remain thankful during both ease and hardship because gratitude protects emotional stability. Children often reveal the emotional condition of a home clearly. In peaceful homes, children generally feel emotionally secure and comfortable expressing themselves. In tense homes, children may become withdrawn, anxious, aggressive, or emotionally distant. They absorb the emotional energy surrounding them even when adults think they are unaware. A household lacking mercy affects every member deeply, especially the young. Another sign is when worship no longer brings peace. A person may still pray physically, yet their heart feels distracted and emotionally disconnected. This often happens when the surrounding environment is filled with constant stress, sin, or negativity. The soul struggles to find calmness because the atmosphere around it continually pulls it toward distraction and emotional heaviness. Homes that lose mercy often become dominated by pride and stubbornness. Nobody wants to apologize. One wants to prove they're right. Forgiveness becomes rare. This creates emotional walls between family members. Islam teaches humility because mercy enters homes where people forgive, overlook mistakes, and prioritize love over ego. The lack of meaningful family interaction is another important sign. People spend more time with devices than with each other. Meals become silent, shared moments disappear, emotional bonds weaken gradually. Technology itself is not the enemy, but when it replaces real connection completely, loneliness increases inside the household. A peaceful home does not mean a home without problems. Every family experiences tests and hardships. The difference is how those hardships are handled. Homes filled with mercy respond to difficulties with patience, prayer, kindness, and mutual support. Homes that have lost calmness respond with anger, blame, and emotional distance. Islam teaches believers to actively protect the spiritual and emotional environment of their homes because peace is one of the greatest blessings Allah can give a family.